What's up, guys? This is Sim with Vengeance, and I am back here with another MLB 16, the show, Baltimore Orioles franchise. And today, your 79 and 61 Baltimore Orioles are on the road again, taking on the 67 and 73 Detroit Tigers. And if you guys are excited for today's video, make sure you guys drop a like. We have Kevin Gausman, who's 13-8. A 3.10 ERA facing Jordan Zimmerman, who is 9-9 on the year. So you take a look at the standings right here. We have the Baltimore Orioles sitting in second place, 7 games behind the Blue Jays. You got the Indians in first place in the AL Central, and you got no competition there really. You got the Astros in first place with the Angels 4.5 back. Still a chance for them to make a late season push, but it looks like everybody else is kind of in the middle of the pack. You take a look at the wild card. We're on top of the wild card, but not by much. We're only ahead by like 2.5 games or 3 games ahead of the Angels and a couple of games ahead of the Red Sox. We see the Mets are top of the NL East with the Nationals also competing. The Marlins are having a decent year, but nothing too spectacular to have them compete in the NL East. And you take a look at the NL Central, the Cubs are starting to take over, and they're 6 games ahead of the Cardinals. And the Pirates are having a decent season as well, but it looks like they're too far behind to start catching up. And then you take a look at the NL West. You got the Dodgers and Giants up there at the top. You see the Giants are 5 games ahead of the Dodgers, and the Giants are 91 and 49. That's absolutely amazing. You take a look at the NL wildcard standings. You see quite a few teams up in there as well. So a lot of good things happening so far in this baseball season. You take a look at some statistics here from your Baltimore Orioles as you take a look at Chris Davis. He's got 37 home runs and 93 runs driven in. He's having a monster season. You take a look at Jonathan Scope, 22 home runs, 69 RBIs, having a decent year himself. Adam Jones, 27 home runs, 66 RBIs. A lot of double-digit guys in home runs this year. And that's to be expected when you got a power team like this. You see we had a couple of call-ups this year as well. We're still looking for Joey Rickard to come up with his first home run, but we're not expecting that anytime soon, really. I mean, I want it to happen, but I'm not expecting it. And you take a look at the batting average. You see Chris Davis is hitting above 300. He's absolutely destroying the baseball this season. He should be in line for an MVP, but guess what? He's not. Mike Trout's having a better year, but it seems like, they only give it to guys who are, super good. Chris Davis is one of those players, but it's like you got other players like, I don't know, Mike Trout in there in the MVP discussion, who's got like 41 home runs and hits like 20 points lower than Chris Davis. He's hitting like 280 and hitting 40 home runs. But anyway, I think Chris Davis is still in the MVP race, but I don't think he's number 1. That's my thing. Like, Chris Davis is really good. So don't get my words twisted. I think Chris Davis is one of the best players in the league. So anyway, take a look at the pitching statistics. You see Zach Britton just absolutely shutting the door this season in the saves department. He's been absolutely monstrous in his performances this year. He's one of the league leaders in saves. And now we go into our game against the Detroit Tigers. Jordan Zimmerman versus Kevin Gausman. Let's see who comes out in this. Who comes out with the win today. You see, we're wearing some practice uniforms. We're wearing the practice uniforms. I wanted to try out something different with these uniforms. I know it's not like the most professional thing, I guess, but I like trying out different uniforms, I guess. I'm that kind of guy who likes, different uniforms and stuff. But you take a look at the starting lineups here for your Baltimore Orioles. You see we got, Mark Trumbo in there. I think he might be next year or coming into the playoffs an everyday player, simply because every time he's in the games, he's got like 15 home runs in only 64 games, I think, this year. So every time he's in the game, he seems to be putting in the finest of work. So I think this year, towards the end of the season, we're going to have him become an everyday player. And in the postseason as well, we're going to have him be like one of those everyday DHs, because Pedro Alvarez has not been doing that great this year. And Mike Trout has. Not Mike Trout, but Mark Trumbo has. So we're going to have, Trumbo come in and just do absolute work. You take a look at the Detroit Tigers lineup. You obviously have to worry about Miguel Cabrera. You have to worry about the 2 Martinezes. You have to worry sometimes. You have to worry about Ian Kinsler. But now right here, they're gonna take this one into deep left center field, more center than left. But Adam Jones is right there to grab that one to end the first inning. So now here we are, Mark Trumbo at the plate, and he's gonna draw a walk. Something I really liked about Mark Trumbo. You see later on, here is J.J. Hardy, and the third baseman cannot grab it, so that's going to be an they're going to count that as an error, I think. Yeah, they're going to count that as an error. So later on, it's Jonathan Schoop at the plate, and Jonathan Scope's going to drive this one into deep left center, and this one's going to end up being a ground rule double, actually. And that kind of upsets me because J.J. Hardy would have easily scored from that position, and it ends up only being a ground rule double, which means, he has to stay at third, because now instead of 2 runs, we only got stuck with 1, and that kind of hurts me a little bit. It hurts my soul, man. I hate ground rule doubles. I really do. And you see Kevin Gausman continue to do work here through the first 2 innings. You see here in the third, Joey Rickard's going to slide that one past the third baseman in for a base hit. And we have some business going on here in the top of the third, and I don't know if this is like a thing about Joey Rickard, but I didn't even intend for him to steal, but he goes anyway, and he gets caught by probably by a good half a step, but that's something that's just like, why did you even go? I didn't even tell you to go, But later on, it is Chris Davis. He's gonna take this one into deep right. It's got some pretty good power behind the swing, but just not enough. And he ends up getting another out. So still 1-0 here in the third inning. And you see right here, we give up another base hit. And that is going to set up their the Detroit Tiger offense with some hope, some hope to try and get at least one across. And here is another at bat right here. We're gonna get him out at second. I can't remember if it's Cosa, I think it is. And he gets thrown out by a good distance right there. Caleb Joseph just put the good old throw on there. And the pitch from Gausman is going to be called a strike 3 on the inside corner. That could have easily been called a ball, but he gets the call anyway. But now later on, it's Mark Trumbo again. This is why I wanted to become an everyday player. Look at stuff like this. That's a good hit right there, but it's just better play by Miguel Cabrera over at first. Good piece of hitting, but just not the ending result I'd like. So now we have Joey Rickard grabbing at one out of left field after a Miguel Cabrera base hit. I think that was Miguel Cabrera. It was either him or Martinez, but it probably was Martinez actually. But later on, there's 2 runners on this time, and that's going to be an out right there to try and keep Gausman continuing to perform well at least. Here's Jonathan Schoop again. He gets a base hit, second hit of the game for him. Jonathan Schoop, I mean, he's actually performing pretty well this game. He's already 2 for 2. Let's see what kind of game he has. This could be really huge down the stretch. Who knows? So Joey Rickard at the plate again with 2 away. And Rickard's going to take this one up the gut, but Kinsler's right there to grab that one and end the inning right there for the Orioles. So Kevin Gausman at the plate again, facing Jared Saltalamacchia. And he is going to take this one a mile, or like 400 feet long home run. And that's a 400-foot home run, and it's now tied at 1. Like, bro, that wasn't the location I wanted it to be in, but it was anyway. It was literally a meatball served up to Jared Saltalamacchia, and now it's tied at 1 because of it. Like, 11th home run for Saltalamacchia, and that one burns a little. So now we got to try and limit the damage here. As you see, we get another nice play from J.J. Hardy over at short, and that's going to end the inning. And now we have some work to do now. And now we have something to play for. We're not trying to and make this game go as fast as possible. Granted, I want to get runs like every time. And, it's just whenever I have a lead, I don't want to I'm not comfortable, but I am content. And that's probably what my problem was in this game. I got a little too carried away thinking that Gausman's just going to go in and do work, but he ended up not doing it. But you see Miguel Cabrera taking this one to deep right, and that one is just going to creep over the wall. Home run, Miguel Cabrera, and now the Tigers have a 2-1 lead here in the bottom of the 6th, as this one is starting to get a little out of hand because now that's 2 home runs he's given up, and now we are trailing after Gausman was having a good solid first few innings, and now it seems like it's all falling apart for him. And now later on, he is facing J.D. Martinez, and Martinez is going to draw a pitch right here. That's going to be just a little low and outside. It may have been I wanted to be a little higher, but you see right here, he gets a good rip in the right center field, and Adam Jones cuts that one off perfectly because I think if it would have went any further, it probably would have ended up being a triple. So we ended up limiting it to a double. And now later on, it's the other Martinez. and that is going to be a base hit. So now runners on first and third on the corners, and this is where we're going to draw a little bit more trouble as Ian Kinsler is at the plate, and he's going to drive one here to right field. Paredes is right there, but it's obviously too deep to make some sort of play on it. So we end up giving up another run right here. So now it's 3-1 Detroit after Gausman is just completely falling apart here in this 6th inning. He still gets out of it, though, with a strikeout, but the damage has already been done. So they already put up a crooked number this inning. I don't want him to put up any more. He did swing out of one on the strike zone, so that makes me happy a little bit. So and here in the 7th here, Zimmerman's still pitching. Trumbo's going to drive this one. Nice solid hit from Trumbo to get that one into left field for a base hit. Jordan Zimmerman's been pitching pretty well this game. He's got a few strikeouts on the ledger, but nothing too serious. He hasn't been, throwing us out left and right. And you see Jonathan Scope again getting another base hit. He's 3 for 3. And I thought about going home with Trumbo, but I figured just better not test it. We have 2 runners on now, and we have the top of the lineup coming up. So now we have Joey Rickard up with 2 away here, and they bring in a new pitcher to try and limit the damage, but Rickard doesn't get anything out of it, and it ends up being the inning. So now the Tigers get out of it, still up 3-1. We throw in Despinage, and look at Jimmy Paredes. Diving catch right there. Let's take a look at that one again. That was worthy of another look. Look at him get elevated to get that one. Nice play by Paredes to save the base hit and keeping the inning alive for the Tigers. That would have been disastrous for us. So here in the 8th inning, let's see what Chris Davis could do. Hopefully give us something. Well, he does draw the walk, so that does make me a little happy. As now we have one runner on with Adam Jones at the plate. He has been struggling in this game. He does get good wood on this one, but not enough. It's like that one was up in the strike zone, and I was like, ooh, look, a meatball. And then we just get a little under it. So that one kind of hurt a little bit. You see right here, perfect curveball right on the outside corner of the plate, low outside corner, and that was just perfect placement on that pitch. So now later on top of the 9th, Mark Trumbo at the plate. Let's see if we can get a 9th inning rally started. Trumbo takes this one deep left, and that is Gone gone. Now it's down 3-2 as Trumbo finally gets us a little bit of momentum. His K-Rod isn't the same K-Rod as we come to know and love back when he was on the Angels. He's kind of, I wouldn't say he's washed up, but he's definitely seen his days. And this is not a good situation now. Now that we got a little bit of a momentum here, and now later on, one away, Jonathan Scope at the plate. He's been on fire. Let's see if he can continue his winning ways at the plate. And he takes this one to deep left field as well. And he says, hey, Mark, can you share some of that power? And he does, as that one goes over the wall for another home run, as Jonathan Scope ties the game as K-Rod blows the save. And now the Angel K-Rod is probably thinking like, man, what do I have to do to get an out? Well, he did get an out. It was on J.J. Hardy, but let's see what he can do here with now 2 gone here, and Joey Rickard at the plate. The pitch, that one's a nice pitch. It just left well, it wasn't really a good pitch, I guess. It was left, it hung a little bit. If it would have done its like actual movements, I think it would have been a good pitch, but it just hung a little bit. But now Paredes at the plate here, and Rickard off to second. This time I actually did send him because I really wanted that runner in scoring position with the game on the line. So that was a good steal right there from Rickard. And Paredes is going to take this one into deep right center field, and this one is going to hit the wall. And this one is going to give us the lead here in the top of the 9th as Jimmy Paredes ends up on 3rd with an RBI triple. And man, oh man, how's this game flipped on its head. Jimmy Paredes is fired up. He's hyped. Let's see if we can get one more insurance run here for Britain as Chris Davis drives this one to right, but obviously not enough as Martinez is right there to grab that one. And man, oh man, what a top of the 9th. Here we go. Nobody out here facing Martinez. And this one's going to go up the middle for a base hit. So now the go-ahead run, the winning run, is going to step up to the plate here for the Detroit Tigers. And now with 2 away here, can we get Castellanos out? Well, It's going to be a good reach. And Jones comes up with it, and the Orioles win the game. They win their 80th game of the season. Final score 4-3 on a late inning rally by the Orioles. Home runs from Trumbo and Scope. Jonathan Scope goes 4 for 4 in the game-winning RBI to Jimmy Paredes. What games by those three gentlemen right there to seal the victory here and get our 80th win of the season and keep our playoff hopes alive. So, wow, what a game. Jonathan Scope, obviously player of the game, 4 for 4. A double, 2 singles, and a home run to tie the game. You cannot get much of a better game than that. He had 2 RBIs. And then, obviously you had Paredes get that RBI triple, and then you had Trumbo with a solo home run as well. Great game. And Zach Britton gets another save to boot. So everybody here in Oriole land is happy as Despinage gets the win. His first win of the season. 2 innings pitched, 1 K, no hits allowed, no walks. He had a really good showing today. And hopefully he can continue his winning ways here as we go into the postseason. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. If you guys did like it, hey, drop a like. And if you guys are new to this at all, hey, hit that subscribe button down below for more content like this. If you guys like it, of course, you gotta like it in order to subscribe, But Orioles win 4-3. Great game by both teams. We came out on top for our 80th win of the season. Until next time, though, my name is Sim with Vengeance. You guys have been amazing as always. And I'm out. Peace.
4 runs on 10 hits, no errors. They left 8 men on base. For the Tigers, 3 runs on 9 hits, 1 error. They left 5 men on base. The winning pitcher is Odrisamer Despaigne. His record is now 1-0.